The movie opens in a vast bamboo forest where a young woman is captured and tied up. As she struggles, two opposing groups of warriors suddenly appear, clashing in an intense battle. Just as the situation seems hopeless, a mysterious masked man emerges from the shadows, swiftly defeating both groups with skillful precision. As he moves to rescue the woman, a powerful warrior steps forward to challenge him. The two engage in a fierce duel, but after a brutal exchange, the masked man overpowers his opponent, standing victorious as the woman watches. The scene then shifts to Jack Bronson, a teenage boy sitting in his room, playing the video game that was just displayed. Just as he leans back, proud of his victory, his mother, Annie, walks in. She tells him that it is important he does well in school to secure a scholarship, as their financial situation is becoming difficult. She mentions that her job is not going well as she has not made any sales lately and has not been paid. After a brief pause, she urges Jack to focus on his studies before quickly leaving. Later, Jack heads outside to ride his bike, only to bump into Travis and his gang, the school bullies. Jack tries to avoid them, but in a rush, he accidentally knocks Travis off his bike. The bullies quickly turn on Jack, chasing him after the mishap. Despite their chase, Jack manages to escape the situation and makes his way to his part-time job at an antique shop. Inside the shop, Mr. Cheng, the shop owner who hired him, offers some words of advice. He tells Jack to be brave and stand up for himself. Jack, however, knows he is not the type to confront others and does not feel ready for such a challenge. He brushes off Mr. Cheng's words and quietly gets back to his work. As Jack continues working, Mr. Cheng asks him to open a package that has just arrived from his brother in Beijing. Inside, Jack discovers an ancient family heirloom, a large vase called the Warrior's Gate. They briefly discuss its significance, and then, to Jack's surprise, Mr. Cheng gives it to him as a gift. Jack takes the vase home and places it in his room. That night, Jack wakes up to the cold pressure of a sword against his neck. He opens his eyes to see a warrior standing over him, demanding to know about a man called the Black Knight. Confused, Jack explains that the Black Knight is just a character from his video game, insisting he is just a regular teenager. The warrior, Zhao, tells Jack he has no choice but to help. Zhao asks Jack to protect the Empire's greatest treasure, Princess Sulin. To Jack's shock, Zhao calls out to a vase, and Princess Sulin emerges. Zhao tells Jack to care for her before stepping into the vase and disappearing. As Jack processes the strange turn of events, Sulin asks him about his skills and weapons. When Jack admits he has neither, she calls him worthless and orders him to get her some food. Jack prepares a meal, but when he returns, he finds Sulin asleep in his bed. Not wanting to disturb her, Jack settles down on the floor to sleep. The next morning, Jack wakes up to find Sulin gone. He panics but eventually finds her practicing martial arts in the backyard. Fearing his mother might run into her, Jack rushes to send his mom to work. When he returns, his friend Hector shows up and tries to approach Sulin, but she attacks him. Jack quickly intervenes, sending Hector away with a promise to explain about the situation later. Afterward, Jack tries to explain the surroundings to Sulin, but she grows restless and leaves the house, attracting attention from the community. Wanting to help her feel more at ease, Jack takes Sulin shopping to show her a more normal side of life. At the mall, she joins a dance group and enjoys herself. The day ends with Sulin happily eating ice cream, embracing the new world. Later, Jack brings Sulin home and introduces her as a new student at his school. He manages to get her settled with Annie, who kindly offers her the guest room for the night. But Sulin, feeling uneasy, sneaks into Jack's room to sleep instead. The next morning, after Annie leaves for work, she asks Jack to clean the house, which he agrees to do. As soon as Jack enters the house, he is captured by a group of barbarians, the tribe Zhao had warned him to protect Sulin from. Despite both Jack and Sulin's efforts to fight them off, they are overpowered. The barbarians take Sulin with them through the vase and Jack, determined to save her, follows them inside. Inside the vase, Jack finds himself in another world, where he meets Zhao again. The two discover that the barbarians are waiting for them outside the hut. Jack, wanting to return home, attempts to leave but is told he cannot go back until the wizard, who controls the transportation, allows it. Jack goes to wake the wizard, but Zhao warns not to disturb him. As they argue, their enemies break into the hut and attack. This causes the wizard to wake up and, in a flash, transport himself outside, freezing time in the process. To Jack's surprise, when he opens the hut's door, he finds all the enemies frozen in time. With the immediate danger paused, the three of them set out in search of Sulin. As they continue their journey, Jack asks the wizard how he can return home. The wizard explains that in order to open the portal, he must first gather 4 pieces of wood from 4 different and opposite parts of the world. After explaining this to Jack, he asks the wizard about Zhao. The wizard then begins to share the story of Zhao, revealing that he is one of the 7 companions raised by the sacred monks from birth. These warriors were trained with a single purpose, to protect the emperor. They were made invincible through years of rigorous training. But there was one enemy they could not defeat, which is Arun the Cruel, the king of barbarians. One day, Arun poisoned Zhao's companions and the emperor, leaving their warriors without direction. Chaos spread throughout the kingdom. In search of a new great warrior to restore order, the wizard used his magical seeing stone and discovered the Black Knight, Jack's video game avatar. The wizard hoped he could bring peace to the kingdom. After explaining this, the wizard vanishes, saying he needs to gather the wood for the portal. Zhao then takes the lead, guiding Jack deeper into the forest. At dinner, Zhao reveals Arun's plan to Jack. He explains that Arun intends to marry Sulin and become the emperor, ultimately plunging the kingdom into ruin. Once his goal is achieved, he plans to kill Sulin. The next morning, after Jack wakes up, he finds Zhao already on alert, knowing that Arun's warriors will attack without hesitation, hoping to kill him. Zhao's experience and quick thinking protect both himself and Jack from a barrage of hundreds of arrows. The two continue their journey through hills and forests, determined to reach Sulin and rescue her. Their goal is to make her the emperor, hoping she can restore peace to the kingdom. Along the way, Jack lightens the mood by teaching Zhao how to dance, making the journey more enjoyable. As day falls and they pass through a narrow cliffside path, they encounter a witch cooking soup in the middle of the way. When Zhao demands she move, she refuses to let them pass and the two begin to fight. In the struggle, Zhao is knocked off the cliff, and the witch tries to push him further. Jack, however, manages to grab a burning log and throws it at her, killing her in the process. Zhao, grateful but surprised, admits that Jack might not be as worthless as he thought. Later that night, as they seek shelter, Jack insists that Zhao teach him some martial arts, knowing that they are constantly in danger. After some persuasion, Zhao agrees to teach him the basics of combat, preparing Jack for whatever challenges lie ahead. Meanwhile, Arun is preparing for his wedding to Sulin, but she is filled with rage and refuses to cooperate. Though she is kept locked in a dark room, Arun is focused on securing her land, planning to take control of it as soon as she agrees to marry him. At the same time, he is also rallying his troops to capture the entire kingdom. The next morning, Zhao and Jack continue their journey and soon reach a vast lake. Zhao suggests taking the long way around, which would take days, but Jack is determined to swim across. During their discussion, Jack discovers that Zhao cannot swim. Seizing the chance, Jack offers a deal saying that he will teach Zhao to swim if Zhao continues training him in martial arts. Zhao agrees, and Jack grabs a lightweight log to help Zhao stay afloat as they swim across together, making the journey quicker and easier. Finally, Jack and Zhao arrive at Arun's kingdom. Jack asks Zhao about their plan, and Zhao briefly outlines it one by one. First they need to get past the army, then the personal guards, and finally the tower guards to reach Sulin. Once they find her, they will have to get through the reinforcements, kill Arun, and crown Sulin as empress to save the kingdom. However, Zhao does not have a clear strategy for carrying out these steps. In an attempt to make things easier, they decide to turn themselves in, knowing it will allow them to bypass the army and personal guards more easily. As they turn themselves in, they are captured and taken to Arun, who is busy preparing for his wedding the next day. As Arun shows them his wedding preparations, he also gives them a chilling demonstration of what will happen to them once Sulin agrees to marry him. He reveals that they will be killed in front of everyone as part of the ceremony. Soon after, Jack and Zhao are thrown into a large room where they are hung upside down, awaiting their grim fate. That night, when one of Arun's men brings them dinner, Zhao and Jack work together to knock him out and escape their restraints. After dealing with the guards, Zhao sends Jack ahead to rescue Sulin, though Jack still has to fight one more man. Using the martial arts techniques he has recently learned, Jack easily defeats the guard, and the rest of the battle is handled by Zhao. As Zhao fights his way toward the princess, Jack finally finds Sulin. Just as they are about to kiss, Zhao bursts in, apologizing for his late arrival. With the princess safe, the group plans their escape, but just as they are about to leave, another group of warriors arrives to confront them. Zhao demands to know how many men are approaching. Jack counts the incoming barbarians and tells Zhao there are 31. Zhao then starts loosening the floorboards, planning to make it collapse under the weight of the enemies. When the 31 men step onto the weakened floor, it gives way, and they all fall through. With the group defeated, they hurry to escape. They steal horses from Arun's kingdom to make their getaway, but as they reach the exit gate, the horses stop and turn back toward Arun. Arun's voice echoes through the air as he reveals that the horses were raised by him and are more loyal than his men. Jack and Zhao are recaptured and thrown back into their cell, where they are given their last meal. Zhao eats calmly, but Jack is filled with dread, realizing this might be his final day. He confides in Zhao, telling him he is too young to die, especially since he has never even kissed a girl. Zhao admits, to Jack's surprise, that he has not either. As they talk, a butterfly flies into the cell through the window. Zhao speaks to it softly, and when Jack asks if the butterfly understands him, Zhao simply says that he hopes it does. That night, a thick green smoke flows through the guard stationed outside Sulin's room. Inside, Sulin is overwhelmed with despair, silently crying in her helplessness. As the smoke changes to blue, it approaches her, wrapping around her in a mystical way. The next day, Arun and Sulin's wedding day arrives, and the ceremony begins. As they exchange vows, Sulin's face is covered by a veil. Meanwhile, Zhao and Jack stand, hands bound and ropes tied around their necks, awaiting their fate. Jack, facing what he believes is his last day, thanks Zhao for trying to make him a warrior. Zhao, however, remains calm and reassures Jack that it is not over yet. He tells him not to worry and to focus on living in the moment. Back at the wedding, the priest instructs Arun to kiss his bride. As Arun lifts the veil, he recoils in horror when he sees that Sulin's face has transformed into a reptilian monster, with large eyes and a long flicking tongue. The crowd is terrified, and chaos ensues. In that instant, the wizard appears behind Jack, freeing him and cutting the ropes. He reveals that the butterfly had worked its magic, allowing him to intervene. The wizard sprinkles some magical powder into Jack's shoes and instructs him to jump to save Sulin. Jack is initially skeptical, but after some scolding from the wizard, he jumps and heads toward the princess. A fierce battle erupts between the barbarians and the warrior group. During the fight, the wizard hands Jack some magical power, urging him to use it. Following the wizard's advice, Jack sprays the powder on his enemies, transforming one of them into a giant creature. While Zhao battles the enormous creature, Jack hurries to reach Sulin, but they are soon pursued by Arun and his men. In their escape, Jack and Sulin struggle to launch themselves from a catapult. Seeing their difficulty, Zhao quickly fires an arrow, triggering the catapult and sending them flying through the air. Meanwhile, the wizard approaches Zhao and sprinkles magical powder on both of them, making them vanish from the battlefield, disappearing just as the fight rages on. When Jack regains consciousness, he finds himself in a vast bamboo field, where Sulin is once again tied up. As he rushes to free her, the barbarians arrive and attack. After a fierce fight, Jack defeats them, only to be confronted by Arun. A brutal battle ensues between Jack and Arun, with Jack narrowly escaping death several times. Despite the odds, Jack manages to overpower Arun and ultimately kills him. Thereafter, Sulin is returned to her kingdom and crowned empress, a moment watched with deep emotion by Jack, Zhao, and the wizard. As Jack waits for the wizard to send him back home, Zhao informs him that the empress has summoned him. Jack goes to meet Sulin, who thanks him for everything he has done, for giving her unforgettable memories and saving her life. As a final gesture, she kisses him and says goodbye. However, as Jack leaves the palace, one of the guards notices a lipstick stain on him and immediately begins chasing him, declaring that anyone who has touched the empress must die. Panicked, Jack runs to the wizard, hurrying him to send him back to his own time. Zhao steps forward, thanking Jack for the life lessons he has taught him. Just as the guard closes in, the wizard activates the vase, and in the nick of time, Jack is transported back to his world. The next day, Jack returns to school, only to be confronted once again by Travis and his group. Despite their attempts to provoke him, Jack remains calm at first, trying to avoid the conflict. However, when they push for a fight, Jack decides to stand his ground. Using some of the new moves he has learned, he quickly overpowers them, leaving them stunned and defeated. Back at home, Jack is still struggling to fix the broken vase when an idea strikes him. He decides to use his recent experiences as inspiration to create a game. He throws himself into the project, working tirelessly day and night. After several days of hard work, he completes the game and manages to sell it to a company for $25,000, a windfall that saves both him and Annie from losing their home. A few weeks later, Jack visits the mall to treat himself to some ice cream, where he unexpectedly runs into Sulin. She tells him that the wizard had helped her create a new vase and that she had enacted a new law ensuring everyone, even the empress herself, gets a break. The scene shifts to the empress's kingdom, where Zhao, now leading a group of knights, is teaching them how to dance. Meanwhile, Sulin, standing on the balcony of her palace, dances joyfully, symbolizing the newfound freedom and peace she has brought to her kingdom.